Welcome back to another episode of Baseball in the Bible. I'm Riker, and I'm here with my father. He told me to give him some fancy title. He's my father.
You didn't do a good job again, but we'll keep working on your introductions. But
yeah, we need work.
We are here, excited to record another episode. You're wearing your Blues hoodie.
Yeah.
On our way to catch a Blues game. I am wearing. Just check this out.
That's
wonderful
great.
Yachty new hoodie I got. See if you can see it. Thou shalt not steal. On the greatest catcher of all time, Yadier Molina. So loving my new hoodie here. But yeah, we're gonna record an episode on our way to go watch the Blues beat the Stars.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Beat their streak.
Yeah. So here we are. Good to be back.
Great to be back.
Gonna pick up on our predictions and all that good stuff tonight. So, anything new with you that you want to share with the audience?
With me,
No, nothing exciting.
No.
Okay.
I mean, Blues game, but that's...
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to cover some of the same topics that we've been discussing, get into, again, we are going National League East.
Yeah.
Themed today. Had to think about that for a second. But, yeah, National League East. So we've got the great Hammerin' Hank Aaron here, his Braves jersey. Chipper Jones. We got a Hall of Fame row here. Chipper Jones, Hall of Famer, all-time great for the Braves back in the 90s. And then another great from the 90s, the New York Mets, Mike Piazza.
Yep.
Yeah, so got two Braves, one Mets jersey here representing the East. We don't have any Phillies or Marlins or Nationals jerseys, but going to get into our East talk, make our predictions there as we fill out our National League playoff bracket heading to World Series and all that predictions, right? So do that. We're going to exciting devotion today on an NL East player, but we're going to kick it off. Kind of doing things a little backwards today. We're going to kick it off with our baseball cards.
Baseball cards, which we only have one pack today.
Yeah, we got ready to head out and realized we were down to our last pack, so we'll have to get some fresh cards. So Riker gets to open the one pack tonight. So hopefully,
it's a good one.
Yeah, hopefully it's a good pack. We'll see who we got.
A bunch of Rockies on it. No, all right.
Shout them out because you got the only one.
Trevor Story.
No.
Yeah, but this guy.
Yeah, Julian, I don't know him. For the Twins.
Jordan Lawler.
Jordan Lawler, that's a good one.
Yeah. It's a thing. It's a dabbing after the Dubs celly stick. It's the Padres. Fernando and what?
I can't tell who he's with. It's Fernando, and it's not Machado, so I can't tell who that is.
Mike Burrows, Anthony Santander, Toronto. Garrett Mitchell, Brewers.
Yep.
Joey Estes, probably not how you say that. Edward Cabrera. Yeah, that would be it. Yariel Rodriguez, Toronto. Vladimir Guerrero, All-Star American League.
All right.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, Luis Angel Acuna, Ronald Acuna's younger brother for the Mets.
Reynaldo Lopez. This is Mets, Frankie Montas.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back to Trevor Story. So
decent pack.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
the Vladdy Jr. That makes it. It's always a good pack when you get a Vladdy Jr. in there. And Acuna, I mean, again, he's still young. He's not his brother, but there's still a lot of potential with him that could turn into a really good one. And Jordan Lawler as well, young. I think he's been in the league for a couple years. But all right, we didn't know who we were going to open with one pack. So we, typically we'll get somebody out of the division, and obviously you got a lot of Mets players in there, so we could have done that. But we prepared a couple players that we're going to learn about just in case we had a dud pack there. So we're going to learn about a current player a little bit later. No, actually, we'll learn about him now. Let's do that. We'll learn about him now. We'll read his devotion later.
Okay.
And then we'll learn about an all-time great now as well. Again, staying NL East themed. So we'll do the great first, okay? And we're going to pick one of these three, and we're going to go
Piazza.
Mike Piazza. All right, so we're going to learn a little bit about Mike Piazza. Played for a couple teams, but most notably his time with the Mets. So we're going to learn about him real quick. For those that don't know, Mike Piazza played catcher. He's in the Hall of Fame, one of the best of all time, especially offensively. Little Google search here. Michael Joseph Piazza, born on September 4th, 1968. Played 16 seasons in Major League Baseball from 1992 to 2007. He is a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame. He most notably was for the Mets and his time as a Dodger, but he also had brief stints with the Marlins and the Padres and the A's. 12-time All-Star, 10-time Silver Slugger Award winner at catcher. He batted right through right. He made his MLB debut in '92 for the Dodgers. And his last MLB appearance was in 2007 for the A's. Career batting average of .308, which is awesome. 2,127 hits, 427 home runs, and 1,335 RBIs. Again, played for the Dodgers from 92 to 98, the Marlins in 98, and then for half a season, then with the Mets 98 to 2005. Padres in 06, A's 07. Again, we already said this, but 12-time All-Star, NL Rookie of the Year when he was with the Dodgers, 10-time Silver Slugger Award.
Wow.
Number 31 is retired by the Mets. He's in the Mets Hall of Fame, and he was inducted in the Baseball Hall of Fame 2016. Piazza was drafted by the Dodgers in the '88 MLB draft as a favor from Tommy Lasorda to Piazza's father. That's pretty crazy. He was the last player selected by the Dodgers that year and was the latest draft pick signed in his draft class to play in the major leagues. Initially a first baseman, Piazza converted to catcher in the minor leagues at Lasorda's suggestion. Lasorda was the Dodgers manager in that time,
Okay.
the Hall of Fame manager.
They have that, Hall of Fame managers.
Yeah, I mean, you can get in the Hall of Fame for being a great manager. He made his MLB debut in '92 and was named Rookie of the Year in the following year. And he was an All-Star for the first 10 consecutive seasons of his career. Piazza immediately impressed with his ability to hit for power and average. His best year as a Dodger came in '97 when he batted .362, had 40 home runs and 124 RBIs. Finished runner-up in voting for the NL MVP that year. Again, most notably known for his time with the Mets. In 2000, he helped the Mets reach the World Series, the only World Series appearance of his career. They lost that series. It was the Subway Series, lost it to the Yankees. So it was an all-New York World Series in 2000.
Oh, wow.
Yep. After the 2005 season, Piazza left the Mets to play for one season for the Padres and one for the A's. Piazza is regarded as one of the best offensive catchers in baseball history. He had at least one RBI in 15 straight games for the Mets in 2000. Yeah, and that's I remember too. Again, 2001, his time with the Mets. He hit one of the more memorable, meaningful home runs probably in Major League history because coming back after when 9/11 happened in 2001, obviously New York was greatly impacted by that, and it was just a big deal about even when teams would start to play sports again. When the baseball finally started back up and they came back, he hit in the Mets' first game back. He hit a walk-off home run in extra innings to win the game, and it was just like it was one of those things after all the bad of 9/11. It was one of those moments. It was like, oh, it's good just to have baseball back, and something that we can almost forget about what's happening in the real world, So it was one of those very memorable home runs. Again, great catcher, mainly for his offense. Not we make the argument for Yachty being the best catcher of all time. I'm making that argument for his defense. Obviously, Piazza, Ivan Rodriguez, Johnny Bench. Those guys are just unbelievable offensive guys. And Piazza was one of those. So, great player. If you don't know about him, if you haven't seen him, look up some of his highlights.
Also, now you know about him because Dad just read.
I just read his whole life, so you know about him. So that's Mike Piazza, and we're gonna learn our new school player is gonna be from the Phillies, and we'll learn about him right before you do the devotion. We'll just do that in a little bit once we get into the devotion, because that's who the devotion is about, is this player. So before we do that, let's kind of get into our NL East division talk. All right. If you watched last week, we covered the West. I picked the Dodgers, and I was on the fence who I was going to go with, and ended up at the last second throwing the D-backs in there. So I have the Dodgers as the division winner, obviously. D-backs as the wild card. You have who?
Dodgers, Padres.
You have Dodgers winning the division,
Padres wild card.
Okay. So that leaves us with 4 spots left for our 2 divisions left in the National League. And so today is the East. Just to let everybody know where they finished last year, in case you weren't keeping up with it. The Phillies had a really, really great year. 96-66 was their record. And so they won the East running away. They were 13 games ahead of second place, which was the Mets. Mets were just 4 games over 500. Then you had the Marlins, a few games under 500. Then you had the Braves, and then the Nationals. But the Braves one is very misleading because they had so many injuries, especially to Acuna, but other injuries as well. So that's how the division played out last year. And we'll talk through some of because some of those teams, especially the Mets. I mean, the Mets have made all kinds of moves. And the Mets, started off the free agency looking kind of rough. Like they lost Pete Alonso.
Lost Nimmo.
Well, Nimmo was a trade.
Nimmo was a trade, but they got a really good player back. So
I guess, I think that's kind of a win-win for both teams there.
Right.
And it's just a change of scenery for both teams, but for those players, I mean. But I forget who else, but it was like they could not. They were trying to get certain players, and it was just like they kept finishing. They weren't getting guys. It didn't start off well because there's a team that will spend, an owner especially, that'll spend a ton of money, and it hasn't always translated. It hasn't translated to wins, but we'll see if that changes this year. And again, since the start of free agency, they've made some moves that are pretty good. So let's talk through some of those. We can start with the Mets since we're talking about them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at who they don't really have anybody pending free agent wise. They have Frankie Montas, who you just read about. He's still unsigned, so he's still somebody they could bring back. Griffin Canning is another one. We'll talk about who they lost before we talk about who they got. So they lost Pete Alonso, as we've talked about, to the Orioles. That was a big hit. They lost Edwin Diaz, we talked about last week, going to the Dodgers. They traded Brandon Nimmo. They traded Jeff McNeil. They've lost a lot of players. Ryan Helsley, who they got from the Cardinals, but he didn't really do well with them. He went ahead and signed with the Orioles in the offseason. So that's it. But now let's talk about who they got, because they picked up a lot of people too. Starting with the most recent one, Bo Bichette. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, that's going to be a big help for sure. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that was surprising. I really thought he would go back to the Blue Jays, but the
Yeah.
Mets threw some money at him, and so they got Bo Bichette. They traded for Freddie Peralta with the Brewers, which he's a pretty solid, consistent pitcher. Has been for the Brewers, so that's a good one. Luis Robert Jr. They just got from the White Sox, another really good player. Marcus Semien with the trade. They signed Devin Williams, who's a really good reliever, closer. Struggled a little bit with the Yankees, but he's still. I mean, he was lights out with the Brewers, so we'll see if he bounces back. They signed Jorge Polanco, Luke Weaver, Luis Garcia. So I mean, they've been active
Very.
and made a lot of moves. I mean, when you look at the potential of their lineup, you start with, I mean, like their infield is.
Oh, it's lockdown.
I mean, you'll put Bo Bichette at third, you'll have Lindor at short, Marcus Semien at second, and then probably Polanco will fill in or go to first in place of Pete Alonso. That's and so then you talk about their top five hitters. If you go Lindor lead off, Juan Soto at batting second. I'm not making their lineup, but you could go Bo Bichette probably third.
Stud.
Yeah, Jorge Polanco and Luis Robert could be up there 5-6. So I mean, they're pretty loaded, and so they've got a good setup there. We'll see how that translates. You look at again some of the teams at the bottom that we won't talk too much about. The Marlins really haven't done much, but that's the Marlin way. So again, they have some players, and they'll probably do what they have done and kind of be right around 500. But looking through what they've lost and what they've added, really nothing big there. The Nationals, again, another team, they have some young talent, but they traded Mackenzie Gore to the Rangers. But again, looking at what they've done addition wise, not much there. So not much to talk about with the Marlins and the Nationals. Talked about the Mets. Let's look at what the Phillies have done. They still have Walker Buehler, who's out.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, potentially he's a free agent. See if he re-signs and can kind of regain what he used to be with the Dodgers. The biggest thing for them is the guys they re-signed. Kyle Schwarber was one of the big names in the offseason. Who would he go to? And he re-signed, 5-year deal. That's a big deal. I mean, because from all accounts, even though you have some pretty strong leaders, with Harper and Realmuto, Trey Turner, everything you hear is that he appears to be kind of like the leader in the clubhouse, Kyle Schwarber. So, big deal that they re-signed him. Just a great power hitter. So, and then they re-signed JT Realmuto at catcher.
Dang.
They lost Ranger Suarez to the Red Sox in free agency, which that's a significant thing. They traded Matt Strahm to the Royals, who we talked about. I mean, that's a pretty solid reliever. And they got the guy that you say is going to put them over the top. Who did they sign?
Garcia.
Adolis Garcia. We talked about this in the Rangers episode, though, when we talked about the AL West. But signed to a 1-year deal, kind of a prove-it deal. So we like Adolis. So we'll see how it pans out, if he can do anything close to what he used to be with the Phillies. And then the Braves. The biggest thing for the Braves is just who's coming back. Who's getting healthy for them, because that's obviously very, very important. They do have free agents wise that's out there. Ozuna still out there, so we'll see if he re-signs again. They got Robert Suarez, which is a big deal for them. But it's really about health for the Braves. Acuna, if he can stay healthy, Albies, Austin Riley, their pitching staff. I mean, you got Chris Sale, Spencer Strider, Schwellenbach. And they've got some other young guys coming up. They got Michael Harris second. So they've got the talent and they've got the pitching. They just need starts with Acuna. Need him to be healthy and these other guys. So The projections right now, things you read, kind of between the Phillies and the Braves, it's those three teams, really. Phillies, Braves, Mets, as far as who the contenders and potential playoff guys would be out of those teams. So, that's kind of an outlook of or a recap of what's happened in the offseason, and now we can just make our picks and see. Again, both have 4 teams left over 2 divisions.
And we are both going to...
We're both leaning towards something, yes. Without tipping our hand too much as far as...
I'm not leaning, I'm committing.
You're committing?
Oh, yeah.
So what are you committing with? Who wins the division for the National League East? Who wins the division?
Ooh, I think Phillies win the division.
Okay.
I mean, like you listed, they have Kyle Schwarber, they have Turner, they have studs.
Yeah.
And I just feel like when it comes to consistency, they're very reliable on being able to squeak themselves into the playoffs. So.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the 13 games ahead of...
Yeah, but that's last year.
Fair enough.
But they're in a position where, because they're getting older, so I mean, a lot of those guys that you named are getting players that are getting older. So obviously health could creep up on them, but they need to win now. I was pulling for them last year in the playoffs to beat the Dodgers, and I really thought they had a shot, but it didn't really. And so, but we'll see if they could change this year. But so you're going Phillies as the division.
I'm saying Phillies division winner.
Okay. Do you have anybody else coming out of the East?
I have
Wild
2
cards.
more.
Oh, you're going 3.
Yeah, I'm going 3.
You're going 3. You're going to stick with it.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so who are your wild cards?
My wild cards are the Mets and then the Braves.
You're going to go in that order?
That
Like the Mets have a better record? Okay.
I think, yeah.
All right, so you're going Phillies, wild card. I mean, Phillies division, then Mets, and then Braves. So that would leave you with 1 team out of the Central.
Correct.
Who you'll reveal later. Okay? Feel strong about that?
I actually feel very confident in that.
I actually agree with you.
That's a first.
Yeah, I think that there's 3 teams. I was going back and forth when we talked last week. I talked about.
Yeah.
I was even on the fence of, do I put the D-backs in, because I felt like I wanted to go 3 out of the East, but I knew I couldn't do that and do 2 out of the Central. But in looking at it, I feel like now I'm going to do 1 out of the Central as well, to be revealed later, and I'm going to go 3 out of the East, and it's the same 3 teams. I'm just debating on which order I'm going to put them in, and so I'm tempted just to switch it up just for the sake of switching it up. If I were really pressed, I would probably lean kind of in the same order. I'm going to switch it up just for the sake of switching it up. Okay. I'm going to go Braves. I'm going to say Braves stay healthy. They bounce back. Braves win the division. Now, that pitching staff is loaded. So I'm going to say, well, it's not whoa. It's not like I picked the Marlins to win the division.
That'd be absurd.
Yeah. I'm going to say Braves win the division. I'm going to say Phillies are the top wild card in the National League.
Makes sense.
Which could matter in playoff bracketing. And I still think the Phillies have, of the 3 teams, I think the Phillies have the best shot to go deep. And so we get into the playoff picks, I may ride with them, because I'm not going to ride with a certain team from L.A. But I'm going to go Braves win the division, Phillies top wild card, and I'm going to say Mets get in as well as a wild card. So I'm going to go 3 teams out of the National League East.
We agree on something.
We agree on that. So we both have 1 team left for the Central. We will disagree on that probably too. But
probably. Well, you can guess probably at home who he's not picking.
Well, yeah, I wish I was picking the Cardinals, but that's not happening.
They're projected to be last.
I know. All right, so there you have it. Those are our picks for the East.
3 Hall of Famers
On the wall here. Great jerseys. great division, really. A lot of history in that division. A lot of great teams in there. So, so that leaves us it. So next week we pick the NL Central, and we wrap up that.
Oh wait.
No, we're gonna do our devotion. I just mean, as far as we only have one division left, and then.
But yeah, fair enough. Then this whole series is wrapped up.
Then we get into World Baseball Classic. We'll make our World Series picks. But all right, that's it. We're going to do our devotion, and again, as we talked about, our devotion is going to be based out of the National League East as well. And so, before you read it, I'm going to read a little bit about the player that this devotion is about. Is Aaron Nola, who is a pitcher, been an ace pitcher for the Phillies for a decade. And had a little bit of a down year last year, but we're going to read some of his stats. He's had a really, really great career. So I'm going to read a little bit about him, like I read about Mike Piazza. All right. So Aaron Nola, born in 93, spent his entire career to this point with the Phillies. Wears number 27. He's out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Bats right, throws right. Made his debut in 2015 for the Phillies, has a career win-loss record of 109 and 89, career ERA of 3.83, 1,876 career strikeouts. Again, has played his entire career from 2015 to present, so 10-plus years now in the major leagues with the Phillies. He was an all-star in 2018. He holds the record, or he shares the record with Tom Seaver and Corbin Burns for the most consecutive strikeouts in a game. He had 10 consecutive strikeouts.
Oh, wow.
Pretty impressive. Born in Baton Rouge, played baseball alongside his older brother, Austin, who's also in the big leagues. His father, AJ, served as Nola's Little League coach until high school.
Well,
after struggling his freshman season due to stress fractures in his back, Nola spent 3 years playing varsity baseball for Catholic High School in Baton Rouge, including 2 state playoff appearances. At the end of his senior year in 2011, he was selected as Mr. Baseball for the state of Louisiana. He was drafted by the Blue Jays in 2011. He instead attended LSU. So he was drafted, but he did not go to the Blue Jays. Instead went to college, played for his local hometown team there, LSU. In 3 seasons, he was twice named SEC Pitcher of the Year and won the National Pitcher of the Year award in 2014. He also played collegiate summer baseball with the Harwich Mariners of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Philly selected him 7th overall in the first round of the 2014 MLB draft. Signed with the team that June. He advanced through the Phillies farm system basically in kind of 1 year. Yep. Actually, even he became the Phillies' first pitcher to make his major league debut the season after his draft since Pat Combs in '89. Although Nola performed well in his first full season in 2016, he was shut down with an injury. In 2007, he returned, and he beat Curt Schilling's 1996 record for most strikeouts by a Phillies pitcher with fewer than 30 starts in one season. The following year, he became the 4th pitcher in franchise history to record at least 200 strikeouts. Nola started 6 straight opening day games for the Phillies from 2018 until 2023 and was their ace for that time. Zach Wheeler is now kind of considered their ace. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball, but still a very solid 1-2 combination. So that's Aaron Nola. And now we're going to just read a little bit about him and this devotion here.
All right. This is chapter 6, 2nd to 1. The verses, John 3:30. He must become greater, I must become less. John 3:30. The walk-up song is a player's moment. Your name gets announced, the beat drops, and all eyes are on you. It's your chance to get in the zone and have a little fun. Most players like to pick songs that hit hard and get heads nodding. In 2025, MLB's most popular walk-up song was White Horse, a gritty country track by Chris Stapleton. Over the last decade, most players have picked rock, country, rap, and Latin music as their go-to genres. That's what made Aaron Nola's choice so different. Nola, a veteran pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies, doesn't use his walk-up song to make the moment about himself. Since 2015, he's chosen to stick with I Am Second by the Christian band Newsboys. The song is all about letting go of pride and putting God first. Whether he's taking the mound today or was stepping up to the plate earlier in his career, Nola has always used his walk-up as an opportunity to point people to Jesus. And because of that one simple choice, thousands of fans get to hear a message they might have missed otherwise. John 3:30 says, "He must become greater, I must become less." That's not easy to say in today's world, especially with social media. It can feel like a competition to gain the most followers or be the center of attention. Maybe you felt that pressure. But Jesus invites us into something better. Jesus calls us to live humbly in a way that points people to Him. We can do that not just through kindness, but by serving others and sharing our faith. When we do, others get a clearer picture of who Jesus is. That's how we make Him greater. When our purpose is bigger than likes and attention, we're no longer stuck chasing the approval of others. There's a lot less pressure when we realize life isn't all about us. I actually really like that.
What does that mean to you? What in Riker talk? How do you break down that?
Riker's breakdown of the day. I'd say, to me, it just really means, like it said, we often catch ourselves comparing ourselves.
Make sure you're talking in the mic.
Sorry. We often catch ourselves comparing ourselves to others, getting jealous, thinking that they're better, yada yada. Really, it's just important that we don't, because when we do that, we start making things about ourselves. We try to get all the attention on us instead of on them. When the attention shouldn't be on us or them. It should be on God. So it's our job as Christians to direct the attention towards God. I think that's what I really got out of that.
Yeah. And the walk-up song is a great opportunity to do that. There's obviously other ways that you can, and we've talked about that with Aaron Judge, putting it on his bat. And but the walk-up song, and it's one of those things when you're at a game and you hear a Christian song come on, it gets your attention. It's like, oh, wow.
Right.
Because you feel like, I mean, if you, for the players that don't have Christian songs, it's like, that's not even a knock. It's not a bad thing, but it's just a cool thing when they take that opportunity like Aaron Nola did to kind of make that statement, and so it's not like you're a bad person if you don't do that, but it's just a cool way. Yeah. And again, there's other ways to do it. But really it's, when you're, especially for pitchers, it's different with starting pitchers, but like, sometimes there's guys with like coming out of the bullpen and you have that because it plays a little bit longer while you're warming up. So those are some really cool. I forget who for the Dodgers. I think it was Blake Tryon or something like that. I heard him during the World Series, and it was like you could hear even as he was warming up, as the broadcast was on, it was like playing in the background, but it was like going on for a long time because usually even the walk-up songs are pretty, just a few seconds and that's all. So anyway, it's cool. We love walk-up songs. You love music in general. We talked about this, a few, months ago on the pod when Gospel and Zion were in here about walk-up songs a little bit. But the reality is, we're only a couple weeks away from your season starting. Sure. So we've got to make a selection there. And for you, even when you were little, when you first started playing, we made your selections for you.
How many selections have I had?
You really only had 3, and you've played quite a few seasons. But early on, the first song I think I picked for you was was a Toby Mac song. Help is on the way.
Yeah.
And it was kind of an upbeat song. And then you started playing Catcher, and we decided we would just go. I love the Rocky franchise.
Rocky, man.
So we picked Rocky, just the theme song of Rocky, and then it kind of became your.
It became my nickname, Rocky.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of became
like
like
thing.
your expectations. So every season, kids are picking new songs. We're like, we got to stick with Rocky because it's
our staple.
It's who you are. And so we did that for a while.
3 years,
yeah, but last year, much like Aaron Nola, felt like let's just take this opportunity just to promote and glorify Jesus when we have that. Not like we have it. We're not walking out. You're not walking out in front of 20,000 people, 50,000 people, but still just a cool opportunity. So you made a switch to what?
Count 'Em by Brandon Lake.
Yeah. So that was your song last year. And so, again, just a couple weeks away from the season starting. So we've got to make a selection. Are you leaning in any way?
I'm obviously leaning more toward Christian. I don't think I'm going to stick with Count 'Em, but we'll see how it plays out. It would, honestly, I want to see how this pans out, but if y'all could comment below any suggestions that y'all have for me, that would be...
Yeah, comment below. We need a walk-up song for Riker for this coming baseball season, the spring season. Something catchy that glorifies the Lord.
Right.
So if you got any ideas, shoot them our way, and we'll work on that in the next couple of weeks, making that selection.
Right.
Cool. Anything else?
Don't think so.
All right. Well, we'll just pray for us, and we'll get out of here.
Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the honor that we have to help direct people your way, Father. Thank you just for sending us down as servants of the one and true God of this world, Lord. I pray that we would serve you with every chance we get, that we would just, with every opportunity that is handed to us, just use our faith to help others, no matter what they're going through. Just pray that we would be open about our faith. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Love you guys.
See ya
next time.
Yeah.